Hey, welcome back to another edition of Babyface Brew Review. My name's Alex. I'll be walking you guys and gals through this review for the next few minutes here today. Going to Lagunitas Brewing Company, Petaluma, California, Chicago, Illinois as well. And we're looking at their latest limited release. This is NightPils, which is a dark style Pilsner. They call it an Imperial Dark Ale. Don't think it's a Schwartz beer, which typically falls in the alcohol content of anywhere from 3.5 to 5.5%. You might see some higher, but this is very interesting. Caught my eye when I was going through some beer blogs and seeing what Lagunitas was releasing next. So got this sent to me in the mail the other day. Going to review it for you guys here today. Getting in the specs of the beer: 8.1% alcohol by volume, no IBU content yet, and then going into the accolades of the beer, no reviews at all on Beer Advocate. So brand spanking new there. From the what's out there on tap, 3.67 out of 5 caps. So putting in that decent kind of category there. Only a couple hundred ratings or so. Probably on tap at the Petaluma Brewery, maybe even in Chicago, but should be coming out here fairly shortly to the public. If not, I think it already is. So without further ado, let's crack the cap on the NightPils. Don't have much more to say. Bottling date, Julian code on the side of the neck there, printed up here, rubbed off. So don't have a date, but I'm sure it's still relatively fresh. Really interested. I love their nighttime. I love their Pilsner. I haven't had an opportunity actually to try the Imperial Pils, but it'll be interesting to see how this one drinks, using lager yeast and a big dark beer like this at 8.1%. So super stoked. Very opaque in the glass. No clarity or light penetrating through that at all. Definitely some active carbonation streaming up from the middle of the glass or so. Kind of like a tan, almost mocha color and complexion on the head here. About maybe a pinky's worth. Very tightly compact bubbles though. Nice looking beer in the glass. And kind of swirl it around here. We do get a little bit of glass lacing clean to the walls of the glass. But let's get a smell and aroma on this bad boy. Ooh, yeah, definitely has that nighttime malt base here for sure. Like chocolate malt, get some roasted, kind of like roasted barley, toasted barley in there. Get some kind of little bit of like coffee grind element in there. Some charred malts for sure. As far as a hop profile, it's kind of getting dominated by the malt here, which is not typical for Lagunitas. You know how they do it pretty big with the hops. But as I smell into it, definitely get dark fruits, so kind of like figs and like dates or like plums almost. Maybe some grass, some earthy notes in there. Get the lager yeast for sure. A little bit of citrus. Yeah, really dominated by those dark, roasty malts in there for sure. So, without further ado, cheers, pros, so that I want to call it NightPils from Lagunitas Brewing Company, Petaluma, California. Wow. Very interesting. Up front, I get big kind of coffee roast, coffee grind, some baker's chocolate in there, dark chocolate, ever so faint. I also get that black barley note in there, and then middle of the mouth, I get a little bit of hop characteristic, but not much. I mean, it's fairly subdued. It's all a lot of dark fruit, so like figs, dates, kind of like raisins almost. I do get a little bit of like pine and citrus in there as well. It's coming back to me more. Then a little bit of like earthiness, and I get that lager yeast pop back up in the back end, kind of this skunky, I wouldn't say so much skunky, but there is kind of like this mustiness to it. And then the roast comes back out again, like kind of this roasty coffee and baker's chocolate like bitterness that follows through on the back end. Very very roasty from Lagunitas, very kind of malt forward. For the style. a Pilsner is going to have a lighter hop bill than you would, on their IPA or whatever it may be, in the ale department there. So it is just interesting, because the night ale really pops. Like, you get tropical fruit, mango, citrus, blood orange, all this crazy stuff, and then you add, you still keep the dark malt profile, and then you add that Pilsner, so maybe more like Saaz and other, more German varietal hops there. Definitely the German yeast. Kind of does taste like a Schwarzbier that I've had, ones that I've had before. It's definitely more bold and intense. It's very intense, at least in my opinion here. So getting into the feel, it's kind of on the lighter side of medium. It does drink very smooth, and it drinks really, I would say, like, clean for the most part. It's really snappy. 8.1, not there at all. It's hidden big time. It's hiding out in there, and I do get a little bit of warming now that I've drank a couple sips into it. Nice carbonation on this one. Obviously, kind of a little more effervescent, I think, than the nighttime ale. Holding that German style characteristic. So really, really interesting beer from Lagunitas here. I haven't really seen much out there like this, and good for them. Got to tip my cap. I wouldn't say it's my favorite Lagunitas beer by any means. It's solid. I think it's one worth trying, but it's different. If you don't like German style beers, you don't like dark ales, this one's not going to be for you because it's a mashup. You definitely get both of that with that yeast and then that dark roasty malt characteristics of the beer. So as for grade, I'm going to go like 86. I think it's a B beer. 85, somewhere right in there, 85, 86. I can't really make my mind up, so I'll let you decide. But that's not what matters. It matters to you guys and gals. So you can let me know by leaving in the comment section down below. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What did you think of the NightPils from Lagunitas Brewing Company? Leave it all down below. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I say it every single time, and I really, really do mean it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave the comments below. Let's go back and forth in the jargon here on the NightPils from Lagunitas Brewing. And until next time, guys, cheers, bros. We'll see you again on Babyface Brew Review.